Hello everybody, how are you doing? So I want to thank everybody for bearing with me last week. I had a lot of homework that I had to do. And even though this is technically homework too, sometimes you gotta prioritize, you know what I'm saying? And I've still got a lot of homework to do, and I'm going to continue to have a lot of homework to do for the rest of this semester and also next semester. But I want to try and keep up with this because, unlike most of my homework, I actually really enjoy doing this. And considering all the fun stuff I get to study and the fact that I actually do enjoy some of my homework, that's saying something. Anyway, the other week I asked for suggestions for what you guys wanted to see in a video blog, and one of the suggestions that I got, like one of two, was that I do a Draw My Life video. And I would really like to do that at some point. I really do want to do a Draw My Life video. I think that would be a lot of fun. I just have to figure out how to rig up my camera and my whiteboard to film it properly with, you know, my limited resources. I have to figure out how to jerry-rig something like that for my folklore channel anyway, so that'll work out nicely. And as soon as I can figure out how to do that, then I'm gonna get on it. This week I have donned my Van Gogh Exploding TARDIS shirt because it's gonna be another nerdy fangirly video. Basically, having spent much of my allotted procrastination time watching a lot of TV recently, between new Supernatural and new Doctor Who, and I guess, has new Chorus started yet? I have to look that up. I've noticed all my favoriteest characters tend to follow certain patterns. Now, I'm not going to include book or movie characters in this because then the list would become way too long and we would never get anywhere and it'd take forever to finish this video, but you can pretty much assume that they also follow very similar patterns as my favorite TV show characters. Also, there's probably going to be a surplus of Supernatural clips in this video, mostly because that's my current obsession, so I've been watching a lot of that, and I have so many favorite clips, but I'm gonna try and keep a little bit of variety in here too. My favorite characters tend to be very funny, and obviously everybody appreciates a character with a good sense of humor, but a lot of the times my favorite characters in particular tend to be unintentionally funny.
Have you noticed anything strange lately? Cold spots, smells?
Well, there's the cat.
The cat?
He talks sometimes. Really hates that mouse.
I'll interrogate the cat.
This is especially the case if they are socially awkward. I don't know what it is, there is just something so endearing about a socially awkward character. Or maybe it's just because they're just like me.
My first girlfriend turned into the moon. That's rough, buddy.
Of course, the occasional blatant display of badassery never hurts. And remember, it's not swearing if you're talking about donkeys. But more even than that, my favorite characters tend to have a capacity for gentleness. There's just something inherently compelling to me about a character that has the capacity to use great force, but prefers not to. Or maybe even is completely opposed to using great force. Like how the Doctor never carries a weapon, or Castiel, who was created to be a warrior of heaven, begins to hate fighting, or how Aang in Avatar The Last Airbender makes a point of solving problems non-violently. Bonus points are awarded for animal and baby love. You guys obviously know how I feel about animals. And even though I don't particularly want any kids of my own, there is just something disproportionately adorable about sticking your favorite character in the same room as a baby.
No, he's your dad. You can't just call him not mum.
Not mum.
That's you. Also not mum, that's me. And everybody else is peasants. That's a bit unfortunate.
Especially if they don't really know what to do with it and then they're falling all over themselves trying to take care of the thing. It's so cute. Most of all, my favorite characters make mistakes and they learn from them. And I think these tend to be the characters that we love the most because we can relate to the emotional vulnerability of having to face the consequences of our mistakes and then correct them. After all, everybody makes mistakes. I mean, sure, most people don't make, like, potentially world-destroying mistakes, at least I hope not, but often the best measure of a person's character is the way that they confront their flaws and their mistakes and try to make up for them. Also, it makes for a more compelling story. Also, it helps my favorite characters if they're just a little bit on the nerdy side.
You can do this.
I'm not a spy. No, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't.
Charlie.
Hey, it's Sam.
I'm sorry, Sam. I'm sorry. I just...
It's okay. Listen.
Who's your favorite Harry Potter character?
Hermione.
Hermione. Well, all right, did Hermione run when Sirius Black was in trouble? Or when Voldemort attacked Hogwarts?
Seriously?
No, of course not.
What did she do?
She kicked ass. She actually saves Harry in practically every book. And then she ends up with the wrong...
Stay on track. Okay, so she kicked ass, right? So then what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna kick it in the ass.
Good girl.
Oh, you go, Dumbledore.
So do you guys notice certain patterns in your favorite characters? Let me know in the comments or on my Facebook page. Like this video if you liked it, and hit that big red button if you want to subscribe. You know, in most shows you're not supposed to hit the big red button, but in this case it might be a really good idea. Thanks again for being patient with me while I extricated myself from my piles of homework, and given that I don't get too much more piled on, I will see you guys next week. Most of all, though, my favorite characters make mistakes, and they learn from them. Really?